Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Gilmore Girls revival. Anyway, so let's just jump right in. I'm going to start with Winter. So Winter was amazing. Winter was my second favorite episode, only to Fall, which we'll get to later. But Winter had so much, and I feel like that was the episode where all the girls had their shit together. Oh my god, it was fantastic. I loved it. I loved every single minute of Winter because it was like they're kind of doing okay. Like, we know that's about to change. But can we just talk, like, just in general, with Rory and Logan, like, that bitch was the other woman again. Like, Amy, we knew this didn't work. So why? Like, why was she... I didn't understand. And, oh, that's a really stupid name, by the way. Okay, anyway. Luke and Lorelai and Winter seemed to be doing okay. It was quite fantastic. I loved seeing their scenes and, like, their banter. They're already pretty much married. I don't understand, like, why they weren't married, but I'm glad we did get to see a wedding. We'll talk about that in fall. But I loved their scenes, and I also loved Rory's connection. Like, Rory still felt connected to Stars Hollow in a way, which was really, really cute. And I loved how she just kept, like, going from here and there and just sort of living, like, an artist's life. And I think that's really, with Winter, we got to see Rory as an artist instead of, like, just Rory Gilmore. Okay, also Winter, I loved Paris Geller. Paris Geller is my spirit animal, and I think she's a fantastic, just overall character, and I love seeing her, how she evolved, how she didn't pick between medical and law school. I don't know if any of y'all picked up on that, but with Franny, or Francie, or whatever the hell that was, I just didn't like her. So whatever her name was, she was like, you're a doctor, a lawyer, and also something or else. Yeah. Just the fact that she didn't have to choose, that they made it to where she was just like, here's what I'm doing, bye. She's like, Paris Geller, MD, JD, which is, I approve. Okay. So we talked... I loved the townie action in Winter. It was, oh my god, I loved Lane. Lane throughout this whole revival is just, I loved her. I also loved Kirk. Kirk went over to Emily's house, and that was kind of funny. I was like, I mean, it gave us some comedic relief, and what we knew was going to be a really hard scene. Also bringing that in, the Richard Gilmore's funeral was so sad. Oh my god. Like, I could not control the tears. And I was like, in the back of my mind throughout the whole funeral, I was like, they're not crying for Richard, they're crying for Ed. Which was just, it just ruined me. Like, I went through a box of these watching the whole show. But still, like, half of it was from Winter. I want to talk, let's see. I've got my notes right here. I want to talk now. Let's talk about spring. Spring was like my spring was my third favorite episode. Winter, by the way, I give it like a A. Okay, like, that's on a plus or minus scale. Like, Winter was an A. So it wasn't an A plus, it wasn't an A minus. It was my second favorite episode, like I said before. So by the end of the end of Winter, sorry. We go into spring, and Lorelai and Emily are in therapy, and I was kind of confused by it, but I was actually, like, relieved by it in a weird way, because Lorelai and Emily really needed that, and I feel like that was so evident in the revival. But I was actually hoping that it was going to work on their relationship, and it didn't end up working on their relationship at all. Also, let's talk about Richard leaving money to Luke. Oh my god. Okay, so first I was like, he left him money. Oh, he thinks he's like, son, oh my god, that's so cute. No, he left him money to franchise Luke's, and honestly, Luke doesn't want to franchise Luke's. that money does play off really, really well later on. I can't wait to talk about fall. Can y'all tell? It was awesome, and I loved that little sequence. But I was like, why franchising Luke's? And also, like, Emily calling Luke. How the hell did she even get his number? She has her ways though, so I wouldn't doubt it. I'm trying to think of other, like, of my favorite moments from spring. I liked the therapy sessions because, and I also really loved, like, when Emily didn't do the therapy sessions. That was really cool. Lorelai, I think we got to see Lorelai as a person and a human being, and sort of like this authentic character that if you weren't able to connect to her before, you were able to in that moment. Let's see. Spring had a lot of cool moments in it too, just in general. I don't know if, yeah, spring was where the basket fest thing was, and I loved that scene. Oh my god. Okay, so I think back to, like, when Luke and Lorelai got their start. If y'all can't tell, they're my OTP. When Luke and Lorelai got their start, and I was just, like, so happy that they ended up happy. But that scene in spring, the basket, I was like, that's where they had, like, their first moment, and it was in the gazebo, and it was it just made me really happy. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Also, I want to talk about just 2004 episodes. I can't believe Emily Gilmore kept a maid. Like, can we just talk about that? Like, that was crazy. That was, but I loved it. I also loved in spring. Spring was where it was either spring or, no, that was summer. I watched them Friday and Saturday, and it's Monday, and I'm a college student, so forgive me. But I liked spring because it was, I don't know, but summer was weird. Okay, so spring I give a B+ because I feel like things sort of got worked on, but they didn't get settled per se. So summer, like, I was so excited for this Stars Hollow the musical thing, and it didn't end up happening. And, well, I mean, it happened, but it was just, it was really painful to watch. But okay, when you have to think about it, like, Taylor was a little ass. Taylor was an ass, and I think he just, I don't know if he didn't know how to write musicals. But it was a parody of a musical, so you can't judge it because it was a parody and it was supposed to be, like, cringeworthy. And also, like, you had Sutton Foster and Christian Borle. Ironically, they were married. If you didn't know that, you know now. Summer, though, also had the return of our girl April Nardini, which, y'all, I hated that bitch. In season whatever the hell she came in, 6, I think. I not my favorite character because she broke up my OTP, y'all. My OTP is like, I did like the scene though, with her in it because it was like, anxiety attack, I need my older sister, and Rory was right there. I also liked in that episode, I think it was that episode where, yeah, it was Rory breaks it off with Logan, and I was like, oh, and then fall came. But summer, a lot of people didn't like, and I think it was because, I mean, I love Dane Palladino, I love everything he does, and he can do no wrong in my opinion, but, like, Amy writes better, and you could definitely tell with that from the revival. So at the end of summer, we see Lorelai. The musical sucks, she hates it, but there's one other song that they write, and it speaks to her, and in the beginning she's reading Wild, which I don't even remember who it was by, but I love that, and she's like, okay, Wild. And she goes off to California, and that's where it kind of ends. But also, I keep bringing up things that are happening just random because I liked Rory's little endeavor with the line standing. I feel like that's really cool how She got like images and stories of people that just stand in line, which is, I don't know. Okay, so then we go ahead, jump ahead. We go to summer and we see them. Lorelai's in California. She calls Luke, and then Jess is there, and Jess is like, it sounds like she's leaving you, and oh my god, blah blah blah. Anyway, Lorelai can't go on the trail, so she goes off to do this like wild hike thing, and then she goes off and she calls Emily from this trail because she went to go get coffee, and then she just wandered off. And it's gonna make me cry. Her talking about Richard was heartbreaking. Again, I used like this much tissues, like the whole revival. Yeah, it was really bad. She tells her about the story, and then Emily is crying, and but fall was my favorite because we got to see Emily go full circle, and I really just love it so much. I just loved Emily's story. By the end of it, she was my favorite character by far. She ends up working as like this museum person, which I totally see her as, and working with kids, even though she hates kids. Well, not really, but anyway, I loved her transition by the end of it, is what I'm trying to get at. She moves to Nantucket. She gets a new boyfriend. It was, I don't know, she was just really, it was perfect. As for Lorelai gets back from this California trip, and I'm just like, and then Luke is there with Paulanga, and Luke's like, I'm not fine, I'm not giving up on you, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, I need a man to tell me that. I was just, and then he's like, nobody will ever be there more for you than I will, and all this stuff. And she goes, Luke. And he's like, what? She's like, I think we should get married. He's like, what? And yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna speed this up. Lorelai, yeah, they end up setting a date. They set the date, blah blah blah. We see Suki, my Suki, and Suki was so good, so good. But it was just, we got to see this moment, and I think you saw Lauren Graham and Melissa McCarthy's genuine friendship, which was really awesome. And so yeah, Rory has this little encounter with the Life and Death Brigade, and then she ends up saying goodbye to them, but does she? Because she goes to Chris, she starts writing this book about Lorelai, and they get all mad. Lorelai was really mad in summer, and all this other stuff, and it's just pretty sad. And she writes a book on she and Lorelai's life together, and she calls it The Gilmore Girls. And in fall they make up and they just hug, and the next morning Rory's like, yeah, here, and Lorelai goes, drop the. I'm like, it's just Gilmore Girls, it's cleaner. And it was perfect. It was gold. Anyway, they end up getting married. Luke and Lorelai. Spoiler alert! And then the last 4 words were, Mom? Yeah? I'm pregnant. And then roll credits. Okay, so what did I overall think of the revival? I thought that the revival was perfect. I think that things don't always end on a perfect note in life, and I think that's what Amy Sherman Palladino was trying to show. And I don't think it could have been any more perfect, honestly. I know this is just a bunch of me ranting on, but I really think that this was meant to be the way it was. So if y'all have any questions, please comment. I'm gonna put my review that I wrote for the Odyssey online. I'm gonna put it down below. Please subscribe, like, whatever you do on this channel thing, and you can look at my old embarrassing videos. So yeah.